You know that feeling, right? When you're spending way more time building reports than actually, using them to make decisions? If that sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone. So let's jump in and explore a much, much simpler way to figure out what's really going on with your workforce.
Does this question hit a little too close to home? That feeling of just being buried under a mountain of spreadsheets, trying to piece everything together to get a clear picture of attendance or productivity or compliance. Yeah, for so many managers, that's just the daily reality.
And that's really the core of the problem, isn't it? You have one simple question, but to get the answer, it takes hours of digging and cross-referencing and mind-numbing manual data entry. It's so inefficient, and let's be honest, it's incredibly frustrating.
So, let's talk about this reporting headache. What we're really talking about is that daily grind, all those repetitive, time-sucking tasks that are standing between you and the insights you actually need to do your job.
Just think about your typical day. You're trying to manually track who's in, who's out. You're double-checking contractor invoices against some timesheet somewhere. You're trying to make sure people are actually sticking to their schedules and that everyone's following company policy. Every single one of these is a major time sink waiting to happen.
And here's the real kicker. What happens because of all this manual work? Well, when the data is that hard to get, you start making calls based on gut feelings, or assumptions, or information that's already out of date. You're just guessing. And that is a really risky way to manage a team.
But what if it didn't have to be this way? What if all that frustration just wasn't necessary? That's what we're going to dig into next. This idea of 3 clicks to clarity. It's all about a promise of a much, much simpler way.
There's a line that just says it all, really. Understanding what's going on with your workforce, the issues, the gaps, the trends, it just shouldn't take hours of manual reporting. I mean, the whole point isn't just to get the data. It's to get it fast, so you can actually spot problems and see what's happening without all that soul-crushing busy work.
Okay, so how does this actually work in the real world? It's basically a simple 3-step path. First, you connect your data. Pull everything from your HR system, all your sources, into one place. Second, you ask your question, using filters to zero in on exactly what you need to know. And third, bam, you get an immediate, data-backed answer. It is that straightforward.
Now that all sounds great in theory, but let's put it into action. We're going to tackle some of the most common and frankly critical questions that managers need answers to, like yesterday. This is a big one. Unreported time off? Oh man, that can cause some serious scheduling and payroll headaches. So how do you find out who's taking days off without actually going through the proper channels?
Well, the key here is technology, specifically an HRIS integration. What this does is it connects 2 really important sets of data. You've got your official policy data, like approved vacation days from your HR system, and then you have the real-time activity data showing when people were actually working. The system just compares the two and flags any discrepancies. Simple.
And the result? All that guesswork just disappears. Poof! You get this crystal clear, data-backed view of attendance, which gives you total confidence in your records. Okay, let's look at another one, contractor billing.
Contractor billing. This is a huge area of concern for a lot of companies. I mean, you trust your contractors, of course, but you also have to verify that the invoices you're paying are actually accurate. So how can you be sure they're not overbilling?
The solution is actually beautiful in its simplicity. You just compare the hours they've invoiced with the data on their actual work activity. That's it. It's a direct, totally objective way to make sure the timesheets match the reality.
And the outcome of that is so powerful. You get absolute certainty in every single invoice you pay. And look, this isn't about micromanaging. It's about being fiscally responsible and just making sure everything is fair for everybody involved.
So you're probably starting to see the pattern here. We're talking about a really fundamental shift. It's about moving away from that world of uncertainty and building a whole new foundation for every decision you make, one that's built on clarity.
This comparison just lays it all out, doesn't it? The old way is all about guesswork, uncertain decisions, and so many wasted hours. The new way? It's data-driven. It leads to confident actions, rapid insights, and managers who are truly empowered because they have the information they need right at their fingertips.
And it all comes back to this one simple, powerful idea. The distance between your most burning question and a clear, reliable answer is just 3 clicks.
Okay, so what are the big takeaways? Let's boil this all down into some actionable insights that you can bring back to your team and start making a change.
So here's how you get there. First, you've got to configure your dashboard so you can actually get these insights fast. Then you connect your policy data with your activity data using that HRIS integration. From there, you can answer those key workforce questions in 3 clicks or less. And finally, you use templates to make all this reporting repeatable and automated.
Ultimately, this is the real strategic advantage. When you have this instant visibility, you stop just putting out fires all day. You can actually see trends as they're happening and deal with potential issues before they blow up into major problems. You're not reactive anymore, you're proactive.
So, I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. Just for a second, forget about the how. Think about the what. If you had instant, reliable answers to your most important workforce questions, what could you and your team really, truly achieve?